We're joined now by the Arizona State football head coach, Kenny Dillingham. Coach, thank you so much just for taking some time today.
Of course. Appreciate y'all having me.
You get somebody close to Totri that's like of importance, and his news voice comes
my
back.
news voice comes out.
What is up, you guys?
Yeah. Oh, it's so inhaling. It's so inhaling. I'm sorry about that. Coach, one thing that I've seen from you in the past, I think it was an interview that you did with Pac-12. They were asking you why you love coaching so much, and you equated it to teaching, and you like to see the light bulb go off. What about teaching, specifically younger athletes, like is your dream job?
I just like to see it click, whatever that is, like the struggling with something and then the click where everything changes in their mind, whether that's like, I was live with Jalen yesterday and he talked about how he didn't click of how working hard and having fun can be at the same time. And then all of a sudden it clicks like that. It's not just the teaching, it's all of the things that make you successful in life. The moments that just click and you just look at everything different. I love those moments to be a part of and witness a kid like his life drastically change because that thing clicked. So it's addictive to me.
Absolutely. You mentioned that you don't think kids have changed, the expectations have just been lowered. What makes you think that this approach of having the most fun in practice is going to equate to wins and everybody and the practice is just being better overall?
I just think that's how I live my life. And I was always told, if you become a head coach, keep doing what you're doing. Don't change. Be you. Kids can see fake. So I was like, all right, well, this is me. If I try to not be me, they're going to see right through me. So I'm just going to keep being me. It's working so far. Let's just roll with it. And I think it's part of that is I know so many people that are quote unquote successful and they're miserable, but everybody wants their job, but they're miserable. It's like, okay, yeah, you may drive in nice cars. You may have all these nice things, but you wake up every day miserable. You hate what you do. You go to the office and you have to put on this fake hat because you think this is what it needs to be successful. And you live this glamorous life of misery. And it's like, I found a way to enjoy the work and do the work and be up there from 5 to 9 at times, 5 to 11, but find joy in it at the same time. So I am happy and enjoying it and living the dream per se, right? While also probably working harder than 99% of people, right? And that's really what I'm trying to teach our guys is you can do both. It's all about how you think about it when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, you've mentioned a couple of times you talking about how you're always just like try to be genuinely yourself. One thing that we've talked about before, and there was a split moment in one of the practices I noticed where you were helping one of the managers like push out a piece of equipment and just push it away. I was a manager for a basketball team at a different college, and like most coaches don't do little things like that. Is that like stuff like that? Do you realize you're doing things like that? Is that like a concerted effort to be a part of everything, or is that just kind of naturally you're just always trying to be involved in something?
Yeah, I mean, there was something that needed to be moved, so you move it. Like it's just like it's not like, oh, move the thing. Like if you just solve problems, right? I hate people that bring me problems. I like people that find solutions. Like anybody can tell me the problems going around. Like anybody can say, oh, this is why we can't do something. Well, if you can bring me something and tell me a solution, you're going to be successful. So I've always tried to be a problem solver. And that's really just how I've always been is I'm going to find a solution and solve the problem. So there was something in the way of the next drill. So I was there. Solution. Push it. Right? That's much a faster solution. So it's just kind of,
it's logic.
Logic.
I like it.
Yeah. Coach, you've called Arizona State in this job specifically your dream job. Obviously, you grew up here, went to high school here, had a coaching stint here. What about Arizona is home to you and made you want to come back?
I mean, family is definitely one. I mean, when your family lives here, when you're from here, when you go to the restaurants that you grew up at, when you drive the streets without having to put in Google Maps or well, I can't say MapQuest anymore. But when you do all that and it's natural, and then all these memories come back to when you were in the stadium and when you were here. And then you have all the relationships with the high school coaches. I mean, I drive down the street and I see the park that I used to pick up dog poop at, and throw it from one trash to the other trash at 9 p.m. at night when Chaparral's dog park closed. And that was my job. in college. So like it just keeps you humbled every day when you're like, you drive to work to do something that you always dreamt of doing. And every day you get humbled because you drive the streets that you used to drive when you were doing all the things that nobody wanted to do. It's hard to not stay motivated and keep the drive.
Chaparral Dog Park is probably a top 5 dog park in the U.S.
Phenomenal dog park.
Love that place. Absolutely
Also,
love
can we
that.
talk MapQuest? How did they fail? They had a head start on Google
You know
Maps.
why?
And Apple Maps.
You know what President Crow would say?
What?
They stopped being innovative.
There you go.
They
There
were
we go.
once the
Fair
most
enough.
innovative thing on the internet, right? And then they stopped advancing, and they
got
just,
comfortable.
Yeah,
They got
exactly.
comfortable. They kept
complacent.
running the zone read, not understanding that teams play quarters defense now, and they can take away zone read. And you better be able to throw the ball vertically down the field. If teams stop the zone read or RPO quarters teams, they just got complacent.
Love it. Love it.
Coach, when we talked last, it was at the Super Bowl, like 3-4 days before the Super Bowl, and you're kind of still fresh into it. Even though it's probably felt longer, it's only been a few months of being the head coach. What have you learned, and how much do you feel like you've grown, 2 aged?
Yeah, I mean, grown. I would say just situations more off the field that I have to deal with. That aren't, I've never liked to be the bearer of bad news. It's not my personality, but having to know that you have to be the bearer of bad news at some time in order to stay true to what you say. If you set a standard and people don't hit it, you have to be the bearer of bad news. It's not your choice, but it sucks. It's not fun, right? But it's the reality. So I would say I've grown in terms of that stuff, which is new to me. And then other things off the field that just come with the, the head coaching stuff. I've grown from. Aged, I would say, is installing new systems on both sides of the ball is aging, because it's just, you're teaching a new language to a bunch of guys, and it's hard to learn a new language. And what we do is not simple, right? What we do is complex. And it's like, okay, deja vu again. Let's teach the same thing again. And it's not their fault. It's just part of the process, right? And I think that's the aging piece, but that's all part of it. But I've enjoyed it, so I haven't really aged that much. DeCarlos Brooks cut my hair, though, and said I had too many grays. So that was humbling.
Obviously, spring game this Saturday. It's free, so get out there if you don't have anything to do, and if you do, cancel it. But you have the Bussin' with the Boys guys coaching. I'm curious with that and like all the other fun stuff that you do, like. There's plenty of people and plenty of other head coaches who would look at it in the mindset of like, this stuff is a massive distraction, especially when you're a new coach trying to install new stuff. Obviously, I assume you don't view it that way because you're doing all this stuff. But do you ever think of it as a distraction, or is that like, do you not really care about that part of it? Like, how do you kind of weigh that stuff, having fun as opposed to keeping things serious?
Life is a massive distraction.
Fair.
Like, it doesn't matter what you do. If you try to create this perfect environment, right, over and over again, like, that's not real. It's not real in life. It's not real in football. Like, we try to create environments that are real, which means, like, you got a pick six. You're super excited, right? You would go to the sideline and everybody dances, right? Well, we had a dance off in practice. Guess what happens after a pick six? You're on the field the next 30 seconds. Right? Can you respond to the positive adversity of success, refocus yourself, and go succeed again? And that's all part of the madness. One, it's my personality, but two, it's a game. A game is filled with emotion. You can't take it out of the game. So training guys to play the game emotional and to control their emotions is real. That is a real factor in the game. It's a real factor in real life. So creating distractions, creating fun and highs and lows of practice are just like you would in a game. And that's really one of the few ways you can distract people and then say, okay, refocus. Can we do that better than anybody in the country? I don't know, but we practice it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Coach, one thing that we like to do is we like to ask coaches, players, etc., some out there questions. Okay, so just prepare. Okay, so we
no
asked,
comment.
We asked Bobby Hurley in the past. We've asked him superstitions. One thing that stuck out to me, just talking to Bobby Hurley a little bit, is his guilty pleasure, like, artist is Adele. Like, he's got Adele all over his playlist. So I'm curious what your music taste is, and if you have like a guilty pleasure artist.
I am oldies I love oldies. I mean, Aretha Franklin, Temptations. I mean, I'm an oldies, but my like weird music, I mean, would say Train.
Okay.
Like
okay.
I listen to some Train. That would be the weird, like, hey, soul sister. That would be my weird, my weird one.
Oh,
I'll be listening to that.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna be looking out for that on the mic during spring practice tomorrow. Just singing Soul Sister. My favorite question to ask anybody ever, and I believe there's a right answer to this, but maybe you can convince me. What is the biggest animal that you think you could kill with a sword? Life or death situation.
The biggest animal I could kill with a sword would be a giraffe.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't think you can catch up to that, Coach. I'm gonna be honest. Those things are way too fast.
You've seen him run at practice, though.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get it to attack me.
Oh,
bait it.
So you think if it's fighting you, you've seen how they fight, right?
No.
Giraffes fight.
It was just the biggest thing. I thought I could cut its leg down.
Giraffes fight with their head. They will swing at you.
Yeah, you're right. I did go to. Yeah, you're right. That's probably I'd have to be on point and strong.
Okay. That's fair.
How sharp is this sword?
It's just sort of your choice. I think the only correct answer is a cow, because no one wants to kill a cow. But
Well, there are people
Are
who
cows
make a
bigger than
living.
panda bears?
Oh, you're not going to go out of your way to kill panda.
yeah, don't kill a panda.
No, well, I'm not going out of my way to kill any
Sean,
animal.
that's pretty messed up, man.
Come on, what are we doing?
One, I am against animal violence.
As am I. As
Thank
am I.
you, thank
There
you,
you go.
thank you.
Someone said a rhino one time when we asked this. It was an ASU student, actually.
Yeah.
We were interviewing freshmen on move-in day, and someone said they could kill a rhino.
That's a play.
You were getting your shit rocked by a polar bear. I'm sorry. You were getting destroyed by a polar bear. Not even close.
No.
Who said rhino?
Yeah, we'll find them.
Freshman
It's on
freshman.
YouTube.
It wouldn't even pierce its skin.
That's exactly
Exactly.
what we said. We looked at them like they were crazy. My fun question. I feel like he's become. You have a 1-year-old, like you said. It's become a little bit of like an icon amongst like ASU fans and stuff like that. Is he like? Are you? Is he going to be a football player? Like, are you raising the next starting quarterback for the Arizona State Sun Devils?
No, he's got my genes. I'm raising the next coach for the Arizona State Sun Devils. But unless he gets my wife's genes, who was super athletic, yeah, he's in trouble.
So if he comes, I know you talked about it with on the High Point. You had a brother that went to U of A. If he comes and says that he's trying to be a Wildcat, is that a conversation you're willing to listen to?
No. No.
Respect.
Yeah, I mean that's very simple. No.
I love it.
That's the right answer, Coach. Last thing before we get you out of here, obviously spring game this Saturday. Do you have a message to Sun Devil Nation ahead of that spring game?
Yeah, just show support. Our guys have put in a ton of work, right? A ton of work, and it's going to be a good environment. Go show that it cares. Don't go show that it matters. Go show that all their work that they've put in from January to now, that all the kids who chose to stay here through hard times, that you care that they stayed, that it matters. And then all the kids who chose to come here in hard times, that we care. Like us as a Valley need to show these guys and need to show college football that we care, that it matters, that it's important, because if we can show everybody that it's important, the sky is the limit here. But we as the Valley, as residents, as people who live here, have to bring 5 friends, 10 friends, 15 friends out there. So when our players take the field, they go, man, things are changing here. It's not just us working. It's not just Coach what he's saying. It's these people are like here. They're listening. It matters. And that's going to feed us and our players through summer workouts.
Absolutely.